Hi, I'm Haley, and I've discovered something amazing. English isn't just a subject you learn, it's a part of living every single day. What if speaking English felt as natural as breathing? How can your daily routine secretly become your best English teacher? Want to make real progress without even realizing it? Let's explore how English can become woven into your daily life in simple, powerful ways. When I first decided to bring English into my daily life, I started with my mornings. Every morning is like a fresh page, and I realized it's the perfect time to practice speaking English, even if I'm alone. At first, it felt a bit strange to speak to myself, but slowly it became a habit that changed everything for me. As soon as I wake up, I try to describe what I'm doing, out loud, in English. For example, when I get out of bed, I say, "I'm getting up now," or "I feel sleepy but ready to start the day." These are very simple sentences, but they help my brain get used to thinking in English. When I go to the bathroom, I might say, "I'm brushing my teeth," or "The water feels cold." While washing my face, I tell myself, "I hope today will be a good day." Even these short sentences add up. They make English a natural part of my day instead of something that only happens in class or when studying. Then, when I make my bed, I keep speaking. I say things like, "I'm fixing my pillow," or "The blanket looks messy." Talking to myself helps me notice words I don't know. For example, one morning, I didn't know the word for blanket cover. Later, I searched for it, and that's how I learned new vocabulary in context. Because I needed those words to describe my real life, I remembered them easily. While getting dressed, I keep going. I describe my clothes. "I'm wearing a blue shirt today," or "These jeans are comfortable." If I can't remember a color or fabric name, I make a note to check it later. This habit makes me more curious about words and helps me grow my vocabulary every day. Breakfast time is another chance to practice. While I'm making tea, I say, "I'm boiling water," or "The tea smells good." If I'm making toast, I might say, "I'm spreading butter on the bread." If I cook eggs, I describe the steps. "I'm cracking the egg." "I'm adding salt." "The egg is frying." It sounds simple, but these sentences become part of your thinking. Slowly, your brain stops needing to translate from your first language to English because you're already describing everything in English. Some days I feel shy or lazy to talk out loud, so I do it silently in my head. Even thinking in English counts as practice, but speaking out loud is more powerful because it helps my mouth and tongue get used to English sounds. The morning routine is special because it happens every day. Even if I only speak English for 10 minutes in the morning, those 10 minutes add up to hours over weeks and months. And because it's part of my daily life, I never forget to practice. Sometimes, to make it more fun, I pretend I'm making a vlog or explaining my morning to a friend who doesn't know my language. I say things like, "Hey, today I'm getting ready for work," or "Look at this sunny morning outside my window." This playful style keeps me motivated and makes the words come out naturally. At first, my sentences were very basic, but that's okay. What matters is to keep speaking, no matter how simple the words are. Over time, I found that my sentences got longer. "I'm making coffee because I have a busy day ahead," or "I hope I won't forget to bring my umbrella today because it looks cloudy." These longer sentences help me express my thoughts better and sound more natural. This daily speaking practice in the morning has helped me gain confidence. Even when I talk to real people later in the day, my mouth feels ready and words come out faster. I don't get as nervous because I've already spoken English earlier in the day. In the end, starting my day by speaking English feels like warming up my brain. It helps me carry English with me into the rest of the day. And the best part, it doesn't feel like study. It feels like living. When I realized that English is not just for classrooms or books, but for my real daily life, everything changed. After I started speaking English in the morning, I wanted to use it during the rest of my day too, so I found small ways to bring English into my everyday tasks. It surprised me how many chances I had to practice without needing a teacher or a special lesson. One of the easiest places to practice is while shopping. When I go to a grocery store or a market, I talk to myself in English. Before I leave the house, I make a small shopping list in English. For example, I write milk, bread, eggs, soap, toothpaste. While I walk to the shop, I repeat my list in my mind. I need to buy milk. I need to buy bread. When I pick up an item, I say quietly, "This bread is fresh," or "These eggs are big." If I see something new, I try to find out its English name. For example, I once saw a fruit I didn't know. I searched for it on my phone and learned its English word. That way, I learn words that connect to my real life. Another good moment for practice is while cooking. Cooking uses so many verbs in nouns. When I cook lunch or dinner, I describe my steps. I say, "I'm cutting vegetables," "I'm boiling rice," or "I'm frying chicken." I talk about taste too. "This soup is salty," "The curry smells spicy," or "The tea is sweet." Cooking is a great way to repeat simple sentences again and again, and it helps me remember because I do it daily. Cleaning the house is another secret chance to use English. When I sweep the floor, I say, "I'm sweeping the floor." When I wash dishes, I say, "I'm washing the plates." Even simple actions like opening windows can be practice. "I'm opening the window to let fresh air in." By using English for these boring tasks, they feel less boring, and I get to learn at the same time. Walking outside is special too. When I walk to work, school, or the park, I look around and describe what I see. The sky is blue today. The flowers are blooming. There's a dog running. If I see people, I try to describe them. That man is wearing a black jacket. That lady has a red bag. This helps me build vocabulary about colors, clothes, and actions. Sometimes I listen to short English podcasts or songs while walking. I repeat phrases I hear, or I try to understand new words. When I use my phone, I change my settings to English. My apps, my social media, even my alarm, everything is in English. At first, it felt hard, but soon it became normal. Seeing daily words like settings, volume, notifications helped me remember them easily. I also try to send short messages in English to friends who want to practice with me. Even writing "Good morning" or "How was your day" helps me stay in touch with the language. Talking to people is great practice too, but sometimes I don't have anyone to speak with, so I create small moments. For example, if I meet someone who knows English, I try to greet them in English, even if it's just, "Hello, how are you?" When I travel in a bus or wait in a line, I look around and make simple sentences in my head. That boy is playing with a toy. The bus is late. People are talking loudly. Even chores like doing laundry help. I say, "I'm washing my clothes." "I'm hanging the clothes to dry." "I'm folding the shirts." These tiny phrases build fluency. Because I repeat them every week, I remember them forever. What I love about using English in daily tasks is that I don't need extra time. I don't have to sit and study with a book for hours. I just live my life, but in English. Slowly, my confidence grows. I don't feel shy anymore because my brain gets used to using English naturally. So my advice is simple. Don't wait for a perfect time to practice English. Use your daily tasks, shopping, cooking, walking, cleaning, as your free lessons. The more you do this, the more English becomes a part of you. At the end of every day, I discovered something that helped my English even more than speaking in the morning or during the day. Reflection. Reflection means looking back and thinking about what happened, but I do it in English. This small habit changed how I learn, remember, and grow with the language. Every night, before I go to bed, I take a few minutes to think about my day in English. I ask myself simple questions. What did I do today? What made me happy? Was there anything difficult? In the beginning, my answers were very short. I would say, I went to work, or I was tired. But over time, my answers grew longer. I started saying things like, today I felt tired because I didn't sleep well, but I finished my work anyway. My sentences became smoother because I practiced every night. Sometimes, instead of just thinking, I write my answers down in a diary. I keep a small notebook next to my bed. It doesn't have to be perfect English. The goal isn't to write like a professional, but to use the words I know. One night, my diary entry might look like this. Today, I cooked rice and vegetables. It was tasty. I walked in the park and saw many children playing. I felt happy because the weather was nice. Writing helps me see my progress, and when I look back after weeks or months, I can see how my English has improved. Another thing I do is record voice notes on my phone. This feels almost like talking to a friend. I press record and say, "Hi, this is Haley. Today and I describe my day." Sometimes I listen to these recordings later. When I hear my own voice, I notice small mistakes or words I couldn't remember. This helps me remember them next time. It also makes me brave because I hear myself speaking English and realize I can really do this. Some nights, when I'm too tired, I just do silent reflection in my head. I lie in bed and repeat the events of the day in English. I woke up at 7. I went to the office. I met my friend for lunch. Even a few minutes of this is enough. It keeps English alive in my mind before I sleep. Reflection is powerful because it helps me use words from my real life. I don't need to study new vocabulary lists. Instead, I use words that are important to me. Sometimes, if there's something I couldn't say well, I look it up before sleeping. For example, if I couldn't remember the English word for umbrella, I search for it and I try to use it in a sentence. I forgot my umbrella today. Learning this way makes words stick in my memory because they have meaning in my day. Reflection also helps me notice my progress. At first, I used only basic words like good, bad, happy, or sad. But slowly, I started using richer words like excited, disappointed, surprised, or proud. This makes my English feel more natural and expressive. Before sleeping, I sometimes say thank you to myself in English. Thank you for practicing today. It feels positive and makes me want to keep going the next day. Even if I made mistakes during the day, I remind myself, mistakes help me learn. This keeps me motivated instead of feeling shy or scared. What I love most about this nightly reflection
is that it turns the day into a lesson. Every experience, good or bad, becomes practice. English becomes part of my thoughts, my memories, and my feelings. It stops being just a subject from school and becomes my own language. So, ending the day with reflection through writing, speaking, or silent thinking helps me lock in what I've learned. It makes each day useful for my English journey. And the best part? It only takes a few minutes, but the results last for a long time.